What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. The fighting intensifies here today between Israel and Hamas in Palestine, as President Biden says here today that Americans are being held hostage by Hamas. Americans are being held hostage by Hamas. Wow. The Israeli defense said it had retaken full control of its border and found the bodies of 1,500 Hamas militants. Wow, things are already getting serious. Take a listen to what President Biden had to say here, and also Anthony Blinken is going to be going to Israel, the direct place of where the fighting is. Take a listen here.
Where we have breaking news about the Americans caught in this escalating war between Israel and Hamas. Speaking from the White House this afternoon, President Biden confirmed that Americans are among those currently being held hostage by Hamas terrorists following this weekend's brutal attack inside Israel. Moments later, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan told reporters that the administration believes at least 20 or so Americans are missing. Sullivan cautioned that does not mean everyone missing has been taken hostage. And the State Department just announced that Secretary of State Anthony Blinken will be traveling to Israel, leaving tomorrow, to assess the situation. President Biden also said today that the number of Americans killed has risen to 14, and he reaffirmed America's support for Israel while decrying the brutality of Hamas's actions.
The brutality of Hamas, these bloodthirstiness brings to mind the worst rampages of ISIS. This is terrorism. But sadly, for the Jewish people, it's not new. This attack has brought to the surface painful memories and the scars left by a millennia of anti-Semitism and genocide of the Jewish people. So in this moment, we must be crystal clear. We stand with Israel. We stand with Israel. I've directed my team to share intelligence and deploy additional experts from across the United States government to consult with and advise Israeli counterparts on hostage recovery efforts. Because as president, I have no higher priority than the safety of Americans being held hostage around the world.
Today's remarks came after President Biden and Vice President Harris spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as the attacks from Hamas continued today from the air, with dozens more rockets targeting Israeli cities and neighborhoods. This is footage from Richard Engel's crew as he was live on the air earlier today, showing rockets being intercepted in southern Israel. Israel, meanwhile, continued its attack from the air today on Gaza and is preparing for a potential ground invasion there, mobilizing hundreds of thousands of Israeli reservists. The situation on the ground remains highly volatile. Our correspondent Ellison Barber and her crew fled sounds of gunfire just a few miles from the Gaza border.
Also, Gaza's only power plant runs out of fuel and will likely leave hundreds of thousands of people without power, as it's their only power plant. So we will see what will happen here going forward. I will keep you up to date here. Also, the vote for the speakership of the House of Representatives is going underway here after a little bit of a delay. It was supposed to happen yesterday, but was delayed a little bit. Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan vied to become House Speaker. Former President Donald Trump's hat is also potentially in the ring here as GOP votes to select candidate. This is happening here behind a closed-door vote to pick their leader. They're having a closed-door meeting to pick their leader. This started at 10 a.m. We're gonna see what will happen here, and not exactly sure how this is going to fully play out here yet. It's unclear if the Republicans can be united and actually get the 217 votes to pick a Republican leader, and then actually be united going forward on a lot of the matters that actually matter, as they just kicked out Kevin McCarthy. And all the Republicans, except for 8, actually backed Kevin McCarthy. So you see the kind of issue here on that. Also, we actually have 22 Americans confirmed dead in the terrorist attacks on Israel now. Republican George Santos has been charged with conspiracy now, wire fraud, and more in 23 counts, superseding indictment. U.S. Attorney's Office filed 10 additional charges, including conspiracy, wire fraud, and lying to the FEC. He's going to be in a lot of legal battles, to say the bare minimum. In fact, his own Republican parties now are actually introducing a resolution to expel him from Congress. Maybe they've potentially had enough of him. We will see. It is about a year to the election. They only have a 4-person vote threshold of the majority. Maybe they finally had enough of him. We will see. The movement came a day after he was charged with fraud and identity theft. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Kevin McCarthy says he would be willing to return as House Speaker if needed. I don't think they're going to vote him back in because he just has too much. He has ill will with the 8 people that voted him out. And believe it or not, just those 8 people are enough to keep him. So I just don't think that he's going to be the one. We will see here. Although some Republicans are saying, quote, "It is abundantly clear that McCarthy is unwavering in his commitment to aid to Israel, keeping our government open, and addressing the current needs of our people," said Republican John Duarte, Republican from California. He is the rightful speaker who should have remained in his role had it not been for the personal agendas of a handful of individuals who are fixated on causing chaos. Michael Lawler, another Republican from New York, said, quote, "McCarthy is acting with class and confidence and is in the best interests of America, and believe McCarthy should be reinstated." So we will see. Quote, "Obviously, anything's possible in this place. But I think when I have spoken to my colleagues, the vast majority of people are angry. They're disgusted by what happened. As I said, it is the single most destructive thing I've ever seen in politics, and it doesn't even make sense." So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I will keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below, click the bell icon, and share these videos so you don't miss out on any new videos. I will keep you up to date. Click here to see the deadly message that Iran just sent to Biden. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.